Imagine, like leaving your phone right there on the living room couch just to take a quick shower, knowing that if that screen lights up with the wrong text message, your entire life, your marriage, your whole family is just instantly destroyed.
Just hearing you say that gives me anxiety.
Right. The stress alone would take most of us out. But today, we are jumping into the deep end with a guy who lived in that exact state of terror. And he did it on purpose every single day.
It sounds totally exhausting just thinking about it because, usually when you talk about building a life with a partner, there is this baseline expectation of a solid foundation, right?
Okay.
You pour the concrete together, you put up the walls, you share the blueprint. Like, you both know exactly how many rooms are in the house because that house is grounded in a shared reality.
Yeah, but the man in our sources today, he didn't just build a house.
No, he did not. He built an entire secret underground bunker right beneath that house.
A whole bunker.
We're talking a totally different floor plan, a completely separate living room, and literally a whole other family living down there in the dark. And he just walked around upstairs every day, eating breakfast, going to work, just praying those floorboards wouldn't cave in under the sheer weight of his own lies.
And what a massive, heavy set of lies it was. Welcome to the Deep Dive, everybody. Today we are on a truly wild mission.
So wild.
We've got this huge stack of source materials sitting right in front of us. We're talking transcripts, text logs, reconstructed timelines, and we are unpacking the unbelievable, genuinely crazy story of a man named Kenneth.
Crazy is an understatement.
It really is.
Yeah.
This is a guy who managed to live two completely separate lives with two different wives at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
And our goal today is to figure out, is Kenneth a master manipulator who deserves everything coming to him? Or is he just a deeply flawed, hardworking guy who made a bad choice and got in way, way over his head?
Look, I'm going to stop you right there because we are going to have a serious problem today if that is the angle you're taking.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, this man is absolutely irredeemably evil. He is a predator of trust. Like, the level of cold calculation it takes to build that hidden bunker and keep two women entirely in the dark, that is not a flaw. That is pure villainy.
All right, hold on. I'm just going to lay my cards on the table for you listening right now. I actually, real talk, I do not think Kenneth is a bad guy.
You have got to be out of your mind.
Hear me out. I know how it sounds, but I am going to defend him today.
You're going to sit across from me and defend a man who faked an entire existence? Are you serious?
Look, I am just looking at the sheer logistics here. The incredible effort it takes to keep a woman happy. Balancing just one relationship takes everything you have. I mean, honestly, I barely have the focus to keep the attention of the beautiful woman sitting across from me right now, let alone managing two whole households.
Oh, please.
2 mortgages, 5 kids. I mean...
Stop it. Do not try to smooth talk your way out of defending a liar. You are not slick enough to distract me from what this man actually did.
Hey, I'm just saying, I know my limits. Kenneth was just a man with a lot of love to give, He was trying to keep everybody happy, and the snowball just got way too big.
By lying to everybody.
See about that. But to really understand how this massive underground bunker finally collapsed, we first need to look at the architecture of it all. You can't understand the crash without understanding how the car was built in the first place.
Right.
And Kenneth built his lies in 2 very, very different ways with these 2 women.
He absolutely did. And honestly, the contrast between how he handled both of them is exactly why I say he's so calculated. Let's look at Sarah first.
Right. So we have Sarah. This is wife number 1.
Yeah.
Sarah and Kenneth, they were married for 5 years. They had 3 kids together. And every source we have describes Sarah as basically the anchor of his life.
Yeah, she was the rock.
Exactly.
She was sweet. She was trusting. She was a deeply good woman holding down the fort at home.
She trusted him completely, just the way you are supposed to trust a spouse. Right. So Kenneth's tactic with Sarah was like the oldest trick in the book. It was the classic business trip. He tells her he has to travel for work.
Mm-hmm.
She packs his bags, kisses him goodbye, tells the kids Daddy will be back on Friday, wishes him a safe flight. She never even questioned it because she trusted her husband to provide for their family.
Which is exactly what makes it so sinister.
Sinister, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He weaponized her unwavering trust. He looked at a supportive, loving wife and thought, oh, perfect, she won't check up on me. I can just use her loyalty as a shield for my double life.
Weaponized. Okay, that is a really harsh way to frame it. I mean, he just knew she was a solid woman who wouldn't stress him out with a bunch of random questions.
Yeah.
But here is where the plot thickens.
Oh, I think it's all right.
2 years into his marriage with Sarah, Kenneth is out at a club, and he meets Chantel. Now, Chantel is wife number 2. And the sources paint a very vivid picture of Chantel. She was a proper baddie.
Oh, yeah, turning heads everywhere.
Exactly. The type of beautiful woman who walks into a room and the whole room just stops to look. Every single guy in that club wanted her, but somehow she fell for Kenneth. They end up getting married, and they have 2 kids together.
So now, just to do the math, he has 2 wives and 5 kids. But if you're listening to this, you're probably asking the obvious question here.
Right.
Like, how do you pull off a wedding without your family there? How do you explain to a brand new wife why you have 0 relatives around and why you are constantly disappearing on these quote-unquote business trips?
Yeah, that is a massive hurdle.
And that brings us to what I like to call the ultimate deception, the orphan lie.
Yeah, this is a big lie, I will admit that.
Big. It is chilling. He looked Chantel dead in her face and told her he had no mother, no father, no brothers, no sisters, no cousins, nobody.
Just wiped out the whole family tree.
He completely erased his entire bloodline just to keep his secret safe. So when they had this tiny wedding with just a few of his friends, Chantel didn't see any red flags.
Right, she just thought he was alone in the world.
Exactly. She didn't ask where the aunties were. She actually thought she was giving this poor lonely man a real family. It is pure evil. It is a calculated, terrifying tactic to isolate Chantel so his 2 worlds would never, ever cross.
Okay, wait, hold up. Pure evil. Let's bring this back to reality and actually look at human psychology for a second
Oh,
here.
I can't wait for this.
Kenneth was just insecure. Think about it. Put yourself in his shoes. He is at a club. He sees this beautiful woman who is completely out of his league, and he panics. He thinks, man, if I tell her the truth right now that I have a wife and 3 kids sitting at home, she is going to walk away immediately and I will never see her again.
So you lie about being an orphan.
He was terrified of rejection. He just wanted a fresh start with the woman of his dreams, and he made a panic decision that just, snowballed.
A panic decision? Bruh, you don't get a fresh start when you have a wife and 3 toddlers sitting at home waiting for you.
He was a flawed man trying to make an impossible situation work. And honestly, real talk, you have to at least marvel at the sheer hustle.
The hustle.
Yes. If you're listening, just think about the physical endurance this takes in the modern world. We are talking about 2 mortgages, 2 light bills, remembering 5 different kids' birthdays.
Oh my goodness.
Hiding the grocery receipts, managing 2 sets of school plays, keeping your social media footprint practically invisible. The man was putting in overtime, working multiple jobs, just to provide for 5 children. You have to respect the hustle and the physical toll that takes on a guy.
I respect absolutely nothing about it. It is a waking nightmare of deception.
I'm just saying it's hard work.
Think about the mental gymnastics required just to remember which kid likes which cereal or which wife you already told a specific story to. That is not providing, okay? That is running a full-time con.
I just think he was working incredibly hard to keep the peace for everyone involved. But here's the thing. When you build a house of lies this heavy, you don't need a massive earthquake to bring it down.
Nope.
You can only, weaponize trust for so long before sheer human exhaustion forces a mistake. And sometimes that mistake is just a running shower and a phone left on a couch.
Which brings us to the near miss. Because Kenneth actually almost got caught way before the final collapse. Let's paint this picture for you.
Let's do it.
Kenneth is over at Chantel's house. He's comfortable, he's relaxed, so relaxed, in fact, that he makes the biggest rookie mistake a liar can make. He leaves his phone completely unguarded on the living room couch while he goes to take a shower.
A massive rookie mistake for a guy running a 2-family operation. You always take the phone into the bathroom.
Exactly. You play music, you do something. Now, Chantel is sitting there on the couch. And to be clear, she isn't snooping.
Right.
She has absolutely no reason to snoop because she thinks her husband is an orphan with no secrets. She is literally just bored. So she picks up his phone to pass the time, starts swiping, and suddenly she stops dead. Right there on the screen, a contact catches her eye. It says Sarah, followed by a bright red heart emoji.
Our red heart emoji. Man, that's tough to explain on the fly.
Very tough. So Kenneth walks out of the bathroom, got a towel around his waist. He sees his wife holding his phone, just staring at that heart emoji. Now, if this were you or me, our heart would stop.
Oh, immediately.
You'd panic, you'd sweat, you'd probably drop to your knees. But Kenneth, no. He smiles warmly. He casually walks over, asks what she's doing, and when Chantel asks, hey, who is Sarah? He doesn't miss a beat.
Smooth reflexes. The man works well under pressure. You got to give him that.
Don't give him anything. He tells her Sarah is just a coworker. And not just any coworker. He says she's a coworker dealing with heavy, traumatic family problems who relies on him for advice.
Wow.
He insists it's nothing to worry about, just a friend in need. And to me, this specific lie proves he is a bad guy.
Why?
Because he weaponized Chantel's good nature and her empathy to protect his own deceit. He looked his wife in the eye without a single drop of sweat and lied about the mother of his other 3 children by making her sound like a charity case.
See, you call it weaponized empathy. I call it defensive driving.
Defensive driving. Please make that make sense.
Hear me out. If you're driving down the highway at 70 miles an hour, right, and you suddenly see a massive pothole in your lane, you don't just hit it and wreck the car.
Uh-huh.
You swerve to protect the passenger. Kenneth hit a pothole, and he swerved. He didn't want to break Chantel's heart right there in the living room while he's dripping wet in a towel. He took the stress and the weight of that massive lie onto his own shoulders to protect Chantel's peace and keep everybody happy. The man is conflict avoidant. He's not evil.
You have got to be kidding me with this. He was protecting himself. If he tells the truth right there, his very comfortable life ends. He wasn't saving her from a pothole. He was driving the car off a cliff and telling her to enjoy the view.
But it worked. She wanted to believe him because she loved him, so she just let it go. He kept the peace. Kenneth's smooth reflexes saved him that day.
Barely.
But you can only swerve around so many potholes before your tires completely blow out. And Kenneth's sheer exhaustion from living 2 completely separate lives was about to catch up to him in the absolute worst way possible.
Which brings us to the fateful night, the exact moment the bunker finally collapses.
Right. So Kenneth tells Sarah he's going on another business trip. Sarah, sweet as always, packs his bag and wishes him a safe flight. But Kenneth isn't going to the airport.
Nope.
He just drives across town to Chantel's house. Now, remember what we talked about earlier. This man is physically drained. He is playing super dad to 2 separate families. So when he gets to Chantel's, his body just gives out. He falls into a dead heavy sleep on the living room couch, just completely out.
Out cold.
And his phone is sitting right next to him.
Exactly. And then the phone rings. It's Sarah calling to check in on her husband, who she thinks is sitting in a lonely hotel room in another state. Now, Kenneth is sleeping way too deeply to hear it, but Chantel hears it.
Yep.
She walks over, sees the phone ringing, and she answers it.
And this is where the walls just cave in. Chantel says, "Hello." And Sarah, hearing a strange woman's voice on her husband's phone late at night, gets confused and says, who is this?
And Chantel, standing in her own living room, looking at the man snoring on her couch, confidently says, "I'm Kenneth's wife."
The silence on that line must have been so incredibly loud.
Right. Sarah actually laughs it off at first. She thinks it's a prank. She says, "No, sweetie, I'm his wife of 5 years." And Chantel snaps right back, "That's impossible. We've been married for 2.
Yeah, the math just ain't mathin' for either of them.
Not at all. So they start comparing notes right there on the phone, like, what's his name? Kenneth. Where does he work? Sarah names the exact company. And as the reality sets in for both of these women, a massive, vicious shouting match erupts over the phone.
Just chaos.
They are screaming at each other, calling each other liars, trying to defend their own reality.
Now, I need us to pause right here, because you look at this scene and you see destruction. I look at this scene and I feel a little bit of empathy for Kenneth.
Empathy. Are you serious right now? Empathy for the man who caused the shouting match.
Yes. Look at the crazy visual contrast of this moment. You have 2 women having their entire lives shredded over the phone, and what is Kenneth doing?
Sleeping.
He is snoring on the couch. People do not sleep through their lives blowing up unless they are completely depleted. Look how hard this man was working to provide for 5 kids.
Stop it.
He was just a tired family man who loved too hard, and his body finally gave out from the anxiety of it all. Like, you have to respect the nap.
I completely and utterly reject that. I will absolutely not respect the nap.
Bruh, he was tired.
That visual contrast you're talking about, it just proves my point entirely. He is a sleepy coward. He is comfortably resting while the architects of his trauma, well, the women he actively traumatized, are tearing each other apart. He ruined their lives, and he couldn't even stay awake for the fallout.
He's just a tired provider. His body shut down.
He provided lies. Listen, Chantel eventually gets so frustrated with the screaming that she just hangs up the phone. She is pacing around the house, angry, confused. Her entire world is just spinning. But what she does next turns this entire situation upside down.
Because she doesn't grab a bucket of ice water and throw it on Kenneth, which honestly I probably would have done.
Right, no. She calms down, she picks up the phone, and she calls Sarah back. And this time, she sets a completely new tone. She says, look, I don't know who you are, but I don't think either of us is lying right now.
Wow.
They start fighting over this sleepy coward, and they start actually exchanging data.
The great data exchange. They just lay the blueprints of the bunker out on the table.
Exactly. Sarah talks about the 5-year marriage, the 3 kids, the business trips. Chantel talks about the 2-year marriage, her 2 kids. And then Chantel casually mentions the orphan lie. She says, yeah, he told me he has no family at all.
And for Sarah, that is the moment her blood runs cold.
Completely chilled to the bone. Because she knows his family. She realizes her husband didn't just cheat on a business trip, right? He completely erased his real family, his parents, his siblings, just to pull off this second life. And that is the moment the anger at each other vanishes and these 2 women team up against Kenneth.
So now we have an alliance. And this brings up a huge debate for you listening right now. What do you do next?
I know exactly what I would do and what they should have done. Scorched earth revenge.
Scorched earth. Come on now, you're tripping.
Yes. Call his job and get him fired immediately. Call his real family and expose exactly what he's been doing. Empty the joint bank accounts and leave him with absolutely nothing but the fake orphan story he made up.
Wow.
Make his lie his actual reality. He deserves zero mercy.
See, you are out of pocket right now. Why default to revenge? I push for peace and closure.
Closure. From a man who faked being an orphan. Are you hearing yourself?
Yes. Yeah. You have to think about the kids. There are 5 children involved in this mess. Why blow up everyone's life with revenge and cause way more trauma? Just set up a calm meeting, sit down as adults, and let the man logically explain his side of the story.
Logically explain.
Yeah, even the orphan part.
Yeah.
Just let him talk, try to understand where his head was at, sign the divorce papers, and move on like mature adults.
You think there is a logical explanation for erasing your family tree? You are way too forgiving.
I'm just practical.
Well, surprisingly, Chantel actually goes with your peaceful route. She comes up with a plan to invite Kenneth to lunch.
The calm meeting. See? Smart women, they want answers, not a fiery explosion.
So Chantel invites Kenneth out to a really nice restaurant the next afternoon. Kenneth, totally clueless, wakes up from his nap, gets dressed, and shows up to the restaurant. But when he gets to the table, he sees 3 chairs.
Now, Kenneth is such a positive guy. He is such an optimist. I guarantee you he looked at that 3rd chair and thought, oh, Chantel brought a friend to take some cute photos of us.
Oh my gosh.
He is just a happy guy expecting a nice lunch.
It is not optimism, it is pure arrogance. He is so used to getting away with his double life, he actually thinks he is untouchable. So Chantel just smiles at him and says, someone is joining us. And then the restaurant door opens.
The climax. The moment of truth.
Sarah walks into the restaurant. Kenneth sees her immediately, and he completely freezes. And what does this big, strong provider do? Instead of acting like a man and facing the music, he grabs the laminated appetizer menu off the table and hides his face behind it like a toddler playing peekaboo.
Come on, bruh.
Yeah.
He has a stress reaction. He was caught completely off guard. The man was in fight, flight, or freeze, and he froze.
He was a coward. Chantel looks at him sweating behind this cardboard menu and asks, babe, are you okay? And he just squeaks out, yeah, I'm fine.
The man was just trying to buy a few seconds to figure out his next move. That is defensive driving at its absolute finest.
Defensive driving into a brick wall. Sarah walks right up to the table, looks down at him cowering behind the menu, smiles, and says, Kenneth. And that is exactly where the sources leave us. The ultimate cliffhanger.
Wow, what a place to end it. Right there in the restaurant with the laminated shield.